In our latest installment of our Still Searching series, we take a closer look at an investigation that gripped the Portland region some 35 years ago. That's when 10-year-old Kacey Perry vanished from her father's Portland home, leaving behind a trail of heartbreak and unanswered questions. Her family and friends still hoping for closure. Here's Thomas Schultz.
She's just very fun-loving, great demeanor.
Alyssa Parker says she and Kacey Perry hung out all the time. As kids in the 80s, they'd run around their Salem neighborhood together. Even back then, Parker knew something was different about Kacey's upbringing.
She's made fun of at school because of the clothes that she wore, or her teeth, or her hair, or how she smelled.
She lived in squalor with her mom down there.
Mike Ferdina is Kacey's father. On September 14th, 1990, Kacey visited Ferdina in Portland. That day, he asked her if she wanted to move in with him.
She wasn't very receptive to it. Eventually, she started crying and told me that she wanted me to take her back home that night.
And I remember her calling me and saying that she wanted to run away and come back to her mom.
Ferdina says he went outside for about an hour after arguing with Kacey. When he came back in, his daughter was gone.
You go into panic mode. At that time, we just figured she had probably taken off, started making her way back down to her mom's house.
Kacey was reportedly last seen at Keno's convenience store on Southeast Cesar Chavez Boulevard in Division, just blocks away from her father's home. Soon after her disappearance, Ferdina notified police and a search began.
All over this neighborhood, her flyers were put up.
The day after she disappeared, her mom and a friend, Brian George, showed up at the house.
Kacey, take the scent.
Police dogs tracked Kacey's scent to a nearby pond days after she disappeared. Divers searched the water.
We can say with a reasonable amount of certainty that she's not here.
At the beginning, I said, I don't think she ran away. I don't think she was kidnapped by a stranger.
C.W. Jensen was a detective with Portland police tasked with finding Kacey.
I'm not sure. Some days, I think that maybe this could be a custodial type of interference case. Other days, I have a very sick feeling that she's dead.
Early on, he focused on her dad, honing in on the last family member to see the 10-year-old.
The police had pretty much got tunnel vision, and they weren't researching or looking anywhere but at me.
The polygraph didn't clear anybody that we polygraphed. I mean, I did wiretaps. I did things that 30 years ago people weren't even doing.
But nothing worked.
We were stuck.
While police searched for answers, family and friends spoke to media. But quickly, Kacey's father noticed something he found strange.
This Brian George fella, he was actually conducting some of the interviews with the media.
Brian George was dating Kacey's mother, Tammy Perry.
He would record these interviews, and he would sit there and watch himself on these interviews.
For months, the investigation continued with no clues.
Was it her?
Then in 1991, there was a break in the case when George confessed to killing Kacey.
I never, ever thought that he would hurt anybody that he knew or loved.
I can't explain what made him finally decide to confess to it. All I know is I never thought I'd see it in my day that he confessed.
George had a history of run-ins with the law. Before dating Tammy Perry, he served time in Washington for manslaughter. After Kacey's disappearance, he was sent back to prison for bank robbery. There, he told investigators he buried Kacey in Kelso, Washington. Kacey was never found.
And then it wasn't long after that he recanted his confession.
George backtracked, saying he made up a confession to shed light on the case.
And I just wanted to make one last effort to get this rejuvenated, to get the search back on track, and to get Kacey's disappearance solved.
We reached out to Brian George, who now lives in Eugene, for an interview. He never responded. 35 years later, no one else has come forward.
I feel in my soul that she is gone. This is my hope that one day, somebody up in Kelso, Washington will stumble across her, and that's what we've been hoping all along, and that will be the physical evidence we need to put him away.
I think that I have talked to the person responsible. I don't know who that person is.
Portland police were not available for an interview, though say Kacey's case is still assigned to a homicide detective. Still, it's unclear if Kacey ran away or if she's somewhere in the woods of Kelso, Washington.
Police say they searched around Kelso for days but never found a trace of Kacey. Still, 35 years later, Portland police believe foul play was involved in her disappearance. Anyone with information is urged to contact them. If there's a cold case in your community that you'd like Thomas and team to look into, let us know by sending an email. The address is right there on your screen, stillsearching@kgw.com. Keep it here. We're back right after this.